Now, as we were just talking about, right, flights to and from parts of Mexico have been canceled amid a wave of cartel violence there. That includes tourist destinations like Puerto Vallarta, and we were just talking about it, right? The city of Guadalajara, which I remind everybody will host games in the World Cup in June. Now, violence near that city's airport set off quite a panic among passengers trying to leave the airport. You see some of the video there. The U.S. State Department has urged American tourists in parts of Mexico still at this hour to shelter in place. One Chicago area man described the eerie situation. Listen.
If you love your life, stay here. Don't go anywhere. The only worry is food, water. Everything is closed. It's like a ghost town. It's like there's no Ubers, no taxis, no buses. It's a tourist place, something that's supposed to be uh, beach therapy, ended up being traumatizing for a lot of people here.
Otto Andriadis is the proprietor of the Riviera del Rio Hotel. He joins us now from Puerto Vallarta, and he does run 3 hotels there. Good for you to be with us, Otto. I mean, look, we just heard something that was so alarming. People need to still stay in place if you want to stay safe. What has been your experience with your guests and with your employees?
Well, yesterday was a very, very touchy situation, and it was a good idea to stay in place, not to go out on the streets. However, today things have normalized. For the sake of the guests, I went out this morning and walked the streets, and there was a little bit of looting left, but not much. I looked at all the devastation, and there were people that were coming out slowly but surely. It seems to be normalizing again very quickly. I think by tomorrow we'll be back to the regular Puerto Vallarta. Maybe not the regular Puerto Vallarta, but people will start to be opening up their shops, their restaurants, their grocery stores. But as far as sheltering in place, it's not a necessity at this point. It's the situation is over now.
Now, Otto, we are looking at video that you sent in. I mean, there are fires right outside one of your establishments there, and I understand that there were quite some tense moments for your staff as well.
Oh, yeah, it was very tense. In fact, that's where I have to hand credit to, the Mexicans and the Americans working together. A lot of the staff was stranded. They could not make it. They could not get to the hotels. The proprietors ourselves, we could not get to the hotels. And yet, whatever staff we had at our places and the guests that we had staying there, they all worked together to help each other out and get food on the table for each other and to calm each other's nerves. It was a wonderful thing. I mean, real heroes here on both sides of the coin. It was a wonderful thing. A very wonderful thing to hear.
Otto, I'm so glad to hear that, but obviously alarming that you needed heroes at this point. We're looking at overhead shots from Puerto Vallarta right now. I mean, it was quite a war zone. And yet you say as well that, you had to kind of have confidence in the fact that at least tourists and civilians weren't being targeted. How so?
They were not. In fact, Puerto Vallarta has always been known for that. There's an unwritten agreement, I guess, between the cartels and the police and whoever are involved, that targets are not they should never be targeted. They're very important to the economy of Mexico, and especially to the economy of Puerto Vallarta. And they went out of their way, actually, the cartel went out of their way to remove civilians. I'm not saying only the tourists, but civilians, Mexicans, anybody that was not a military or soldier. In fact, the military and the police were nowhere to be found. But let's say if they stopped your car, they made sure you got out of the car before they threw grenades in it. If you were in a store, they got everybody out of the store before they grenaded it. So there was some, I don't know what to call it. There was some thought or some orders that were given not to harm civilians.
Now, we'd all like to think that that's possible, and yet, Otto, I have to ask you, this is truly unprecedented what happened in Puerto Vallarta. It took everyone by surprise. Do you worry that this is really going to affect your business going forward?
Oh, that's, yes, of course. I mean, this is going to have a detrimental effect on tourism. People are going to be afraid to come down here, and rightfully so. And that's one of our biggest concerns because there's a lot of Americans that live down here as expats, and there are a lot of expats that are doing business down here. And everybody is in fear of what the future holds for them now. I don't think that this situation is going to escalate any further. I think it's over. They made their statements, and I think things will be going back to normal. They feel relatively normal right now, and only time will tell. But I think it's pretty much over. They did make their statement. And we have a lot of, if I could intercede here, we do have a lot of kids that are staying over.
Otto, I have to leave it
Yes.
there as we've got to run, but I really appreciate you giving us that insight as to what's happening on the ground.